In this video, I'm going to talk about risk management. It's very important, especially if you want to be a successful day trader. It's one of the key factors of being a successful day trader. Why it's important? It's important to stay in the game more so than trying to make it all in one trade. It's highly unlikely, even if you're an amazing trader, to be right 100 times in a row. Let's say, for example, if you went in all the time, all in 100 times in a row, a couple times being wrong could wipe out your account completely. That's not what you want to do. You want to stay in the game because the returns in terms of investing is substantial, and especially in the options world. In the options world, you could have some massive returns. You do not need to risk your account completely. I understand the appeal of it. You have $100,000 and you could, for example, 10x your money in the next 6 months. If you put it in all the time and get this certain amount of trade, it's amazing. To get to $1 million, that's what everyone wants to do. But is it realistic? Is it easy to do? No. If it's not, then most likely there'll be times you'll lose. For the ones that say only invest 1 or 2% of your portfolio, I'm not a fan of that just because it doesn't make sense in terms of ratio wise, because psychology in terms of trading, I think it will be off-putting because at 1 or 2%, let's say you're trading with $1,000, that's basically $10 to $20, right? It's like, I don't know how you're going to trade $10 to $20. It's not really even realistic. You're not going to make some major returns. So don't even bother day trading in essence. I think with a 1 or 2%, it's not practical. In the $100,000 range, trading 1 to 2% is $1,000 to $2,000, right? So $1,000 to $2,000, yeah, you can do that. But the thing is though, I think when you're looking at the whole entire $100,000, it's almost like on a strict diet the whole entire time. And then out of nowhere, you just basically crack and then you start eating everything you see in sight. I think that's what's going to happen with trading 1 to 2% on an account of $100,000, where you're going to stay disciplined until you see a fully winning trade. And then you go all in convinced that this is the best trade ever. And then you end up losing it all. When I think you could have just upped your position size to 5 to 10%, where you get that dopamine hit of like, okay, I'm trading a good portion size. I don't need to upsize even more. And these returns are worth it because with $1,000 to $2,000 invested, which is 1 or 2% of $100,000 kind of thing, like your returns are like in the ballpark of like even the options world, like double at best, right? Where you're going to make like $1,000 or $2,000 profit, which is great. But let's just say you're not consistently bringing those returns, and predominantly it's always like $500, $1,000, $500, $1,000. But then you see all these other traders bringing in $20,000, $30,000, whatever. But if you up your size to 5 to 10%, well, now you could get your returns potentially up to like $5,000 to $10,000 or even higher, right? Obviously, and same with the 1 or 2,000. But now you satisfy your need of good returns where they do make a difference. The reason why I'm against 100%, obviously not right all the time, but I'm also against 50%. The reason why I'm against 50% of your position size of your portfolio is because let's say you lose that 50% in terms of like $50,000 and lose it, especially in the options world, right? Stocks are different because unless the stock goes bankrupt, you're not losing your whole entire position size unless you hold till the end. But in terms of options, you could lose that $50,000. Now you're left with $50,000 in the account. Next thing is what's going to happen in terms of like the psychology of trading. You're most likely, unless you're very disciplined, but I don't know, it depends on where your standpoint is, but you're most likely going to revenge trade. If you're going to revenge trade, you're going to try to get that full $100,000 balance account returned by the next few days, right? If so, you're taking massive risk, and you're taking risk that's not even truly calculated. So then you're going to have to try to double your account because you lost half your account. The only way to get it back is you get a full 100% return. And you're just basically setting yourself up for failure when you could have easily just basically, instead of trading like, for example, 1 or 2% and then having a massive swing to the upside in terms of position size, you could just trade 5 to 10%. Now, I'm not saying at the same time only trading, for example, 5 to 10% every single trade makes sense. There's a reason to upsize the trade a little bit in terms of position size. I'm going to explain further, but quick heads up, by the way, I do use Moomoo to trade. It has 0 fees for option contracts and like trading in overall. It's a fast app with advanced stock info at no extra charge like Robinhood does. Very important, for example, in terms of data points and level 2, all for free where others do charge for it. If you sign up through my link below, you get 8.1% interest on cash for 2 months, then 3.35% after. Way better than leaving your money in the bank, plus free tools and bonuses like NVIDIA shares. Doesn't cost you anything extra. And just get a small kickback. Helps me keep making these videos. Thank you so much in advance. I do appreciate it. One thing I forgot to mention when I first recorded this video and I'm going through editing it was the fact that more capital won't make you a better trader. The reason why I'm mentioning that is a lot of people will use like margin accounts to borrow money because they think that more money will make them a better day trader. This is only for day trading, because if you're investing for long term, more money is better because you compound and all stuff, et cetera, and use that leverage, right? But not even leverage, but like the margin leverage aspect is if the interest rate's low, then you could use that to your advantage, right? Because if you could return more than what the interest rate is charging you, then that's ideal. But the thing is though, if you're day trading, it becomes a completely different world, and more capital, like I stated earlier, won't make you a better day trader because you haven't learned everything you need to learn. You don't want to be learning while you have more capital. You don't want to have like bad psychology of trading, bad risk management, so on, so forth. So because if you were going to wipe out a small account, you're just going to end up wiping a large account, and you would assume that you're used to like a certain type of wealth that you'd be content with, like let's say investing $1 million because you think that making 10% is easy. And it is easier to be content with making 10% on $1 million and thinking like that's $100,000. It's awesome. I'm done for the day. But the problem is, and then versus $1,000 making 10%, that's $100. You're not going to be done. You might wait until you make 500, right? But the problem is your baseline in terms of conception, understanding of like what wealth is in terms of baseline, like what you're content with kind of thing, is going to start rising. And at a certain point, you won't be okay with $100,000. You want to get that $300,000, $500,000, because you want to buy a new car that's a sports car and you want to pay it out in cash or something like that. You like, if that makes sense, hopefully that makes sense. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to start making riskier and riskier trades to basically satisfy your needs, whatever that might be, right? So because of that, you have to learn everything first with a smaller account, whether it be somewhere between $1,000 to $5,000. In my opinion, you could do less than $1,000, but it just becomes too hard, especially on the risk management side. You want to learn a little bit of the risk management, and with less than $1,000, it's kind of difficult. You can do it still, and in my opinion, at least not $100. The only reason why I'm doing $100 right now is for the fact that it's like a day trading challenge kind of thing every week, and it kind of better shows my skills in essence, maybe to be like, oh wow, this guy can do something with $100, which is extremely difficult in my opinion. But $200 is doable. But then the problem about $200, because I've done $200 successfully a bunch of times, the problem with $200, you still don't get that risk management lesson in essence, where I think at least $1,000 you can. Now, go more than $5,000, I don't advise it. You can go to 10,000 if you really don't care about the capital in essence. But the problem is you're not looking to increase your capital for the sake of increasing capital. You want to do this to learn. So once you learn and know how, like, what your edge is and all that stuff, et cetera, then you could start increasing your capital, because now you've learned everything you need to learn, and you won't make, like, you'll make mistakes once in a while. Everybody does, but they won't be so epic that you're wiping your account constantly, right? Because you don't want to trade on margin, borrowed money, wipe out of your account, and then think, okay, I could do it again. And then you've learned your lesson, but you only learned one lesson, and you wiped out then you go on debt again to borrow money to get back the original amount, and then you wipe that account again too. It's going to be a vicious cycle, and then you're going to start losing your confidence, losing your trading abilities, right? When you potentially, at one point, it's going to happen is you're going to be like, I know I'm good at this, but I'm just getting on a bad streak. But no, really, you really didn't learn all your lessons. That's the problem. And you were supposed to learn all this stuff, not when you had, like, for example, $100,000 or $200,000. You were supposed to learn it on a smaller account that's like between $1,000 to $5,000, give or take, right? So I just want to state that, because this should be part of the risk management portion. And I thought I mentioned something similar, but when I reviewed the video, I didn't, I guess. So I just wanted to add that. So as I was saying, in terms of position size, 5 to 10 is good, but I'm not saying to keep that consistently at the same 5 to 10% the whole entire time. Let's just say you have an A+ setup, and then usually you're trading B setups, let's say C setups and all that stuff. On the A+ setup, and you have high conviction that everything is pointing to like a certain direction you're going for and all that stuff, then you could bump up to, like, typically you're 5%, you could bump up 10 or maybe 15 or even 20. I would be okay with 20 personally. But that's based off my risk tolerance. Depends on your risk tolerance. But at the same time, don't base everything purely on your risk tolerance. Your risk tolerance could be up to 50% or 100%. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the right path, right? So you got to look at your account size. You got to look at your risk tolerance, and like at a reasonable standpoint, right? Obviously, because you got to stay in the game. And then you got to look at, is this an A+ setup? Then you could up your position size, and then it makes sense. But other than that, I'm going to talk about basically if you're interested again to join this trading community. It's my trading community where you'll learn more about investing in options trading and all that stuff, and see behind the scenes of live trading for more like of the weekly $100 day trading challenge. Got great returns so far for the past 2 weeks. I'm going to post no matter what on a weekly basis, by the way, win or lose. Go to wminvesting.com to my school community, and hope to see you guys there, and to learn more about investing and then see behind the scenes and have Q&As and all that stuff. Thanks again for watching. Take care. God bless, and peace.